What's going on, world? And welcome back to the Pursuit of the Good Life podcast, your favorite podcast that helps you grow both personally and professionally. I'm your host with the most, your favorite coach, the Kameron Lovelace, helping you create your version of the good life every single Thursday. And y'all know I love to have on really dope guests who have went on to do some pretty great things, or even in the process of doing some great things in their professional life, but also have that personal integrity. And today is no different. I've known this person going on 6 years now. Going on 6 years now. We used to work together and we've both gone our separate ways, but she's still doing some great things in the community. And she's just an example of somebody who's out there who's just making it happen, all while being a full-time mom and recently a full-time wife. So please welcome to the show, Mrs. Keva Smith. Keva, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so tell the people a little bit about yourself. You know, your little 30, your what is it called? The elevator pitch, whatever it's called. Tell the people a
Well,
little bit about yourself.
I am a Memphis native. Been here all my life. I have 10 siblings. Well,
Mm,
nine. I'm the 10th and the baby. 10 years apart. So yeah, it's a lot. And I joined the military because I didn't want to be a baby anymore. And I joined the military at 17, currently still in.
mm.
And I am a mother and I'm a wife, a real. Also, I am an entrepreneur out here while still balancing my 9 to 5.
Great. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. So one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to interview you specifically is because like a lot of people look at the army like as an option. And I know that I have no like experience and knowledge. I think one of my family members was my grandfather and he was in Vietnam. So his experience is way different from what today's experience is. So that's one reason, but also like you've taken that and used that to like leverage you into other opportunities. So talk about like what made you say, I'm gonna join the military.
So, of course, I started by telling you guys that I am a 10th sibling
Mm-hmm.
from father. So, with that being said, I was, you know, in an area where I'm very sheltered and very don't do this because I did. Everybody is older. They lived a lot of life before me.
Mm-hmm.
And I joined the military at 17. I wanted to do it, signed the contract at 16, but my mom was like, no, she was not going to do it. So it took a long time. And my brothers and sisters, they was like, no, we don't support it. But at that time, kicking and screaming is not my culture. So it was more so of I have to prove that I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So my grades was at the top. It was a lot of proving just, for me to get my mom to just sign it because you can't officially join with at 17, well, under the
Right.
age without parental consent. And so at that time, it was a lot of course, I'm about to graduate and it's a lot of, I want you to do this or you will look good doing this and this looks like
Mm-hmm.
for you. And it was a lot of prissy stuff, like the original, no pun intended for anybody, but I didn't want to be in scrubs. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want to, play with
Mm-hmm.
the I didn't want to sit in a desk,
Mm-hmm.
or, that type of stuff. I
Yeah.
wanted to be rough because
Mm-hmm.
that was just me. So I guess I finally got, them to say okay. And that was just my main thing. I didn't want to stay in Memphis. I want to live in Memphis, but I didn't want to stay in Memphis. I didn't want to, you know, not be exposed to the things that I've seen on TV. And I was like this as a child. I always wanted,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid to take initiative and just go and do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my why.
Gotcha. And so you were signed up to be full time or reserve or which one?
So I started with the National Guard. So
Hmm.
Guard is in between reserve and full time. It
Okay.
totally is not different from the reserve, but it is different from the reserve because um,
Explain. Yeah.
so the reserve it's like the bottom of the
The totem
military.
pole. The totem pole.
Right. So, for instance, it can be a career because you only work one weekend out of a month, maybe 2 weeks in the summertime type of deal, in which the National Guard does the same in regards to the Army. The National Guard is the same, although you have better opportunities and more benefits. So, in knowing that I still want to go to college, at the time, it may have changed, but at the time, you can not go overseas or do a tour, get deployed, if you were in college or
Mm.
if you were schooling, and that was my contract. So I was not planning to go anywhere while I was in college because that's the only risk it is with going to the military is going to war, taking a tour at
Mm-hmm.
any given time. And with the reserves, they can pick you or they can pick your unit, your platoon, your job to
Mm-hmm.
go. And it's involuntary. So at that time, I knew those. You have to read the fine print, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
I did. So yeah, I
Did
have
you read the fine print?
I did
Mm.
over and
So you
over.
were so you were okay with the involuntary. If we sign you up, you going to war.
Yes, I was okay with that because at that time it wasn't war. It was with National Guard. You don't necessarily go out to fight. You're
Mm-hmm.
securing. So national disasters was first top of the list type of deal with the National Guard.
So
Like Costa Rica
uh-huh.
to watch hold down the fort.
Uh-huh. So National Guard deals with like US stuff.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense. So did you ever transition to the US Army?
So okay. So United States Army
Okay.
still
Break it down.
first, National Guard second,
Mm-hmm.
and the reserve third. So when I
Okay, you
say
said active national reserve.
Guard and reserve, yes, that's the order.
Okay. Okay. And you've always stayed national.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. What year was this? I'm trying to get a frame of what was going on in the world, like when you first signed
Born in
up.
2008,
2008. Oh, that was when
Obama.
Obama came in office. So how so I always know that people in the military have a completely different perspective on like government. So how has your perspective been on, I guess, Obama administration, the Trump administration, and now as we enter in the Biden administration? What has been kind of your perspective?
Nothing has touched me.
Okay.
Nothing that went around or has happened has touched me, other than opportunities that you either can take or you can not take. So
Mm-hmm.
when Obama was in administration, I took advantage and I was doing a lot. So of course when we was working together, I was gone out of nowhere because I was taking advantage of the opportunities that, came my way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to be more cautious, in which I'm that cautious person, when Trump was in administration, I did not want to go to certain states,
Mm-hmm.
class, or just the opportunities that may have presented itself because in uniform, I do know my history of the military and things like that. So it wouldn't just be too smart. Or I'm not that risky, or I pick and choose my battles.
Mm-hmm.
When certain states and things like that, saying that my job is a job that's mostly men, 90.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So tell me what would be like, so for those people who are thinking about going to the military, who don't want to sit in a classroom, who were like you growing up, which would be more advantageous if they went the army route? Like reserve, like the benefits of going reserve, benefits of going National Guard or active. How did they make that decision?
You have to ask a lot of questions. You have to unlearn I would say, unlearn everything that you have heard and go get the information yourself.
Okay.
It's like it's I would put that in um the same category as I'm a spiritual person. So for instance, like um your um your relationship with God is not my relationship with God, or it may not look the same. So therefore, if I'm looking for information on the God that you're serving or the God that I want to serve, I will pick up my Bible to figure out what's going on and go from there. So go to
Absolutely.
some sources and get the information.
Got it. Okay, cool. So tell me, so you said that even though you were enlisted in the military, you did say you wanted to go to college. So did that change when you got in? You said, okay, let me go back to college. So what was the story there?
No, I've never stopped being in the military. Now, what had to change was since I was basic training in the beginning, I couldn't go to my dream college. I had to
Which
choose
was
Daytona.
Cookman?
No, not Cookman.
Which one?
Um, um, don't even quote me on that. It's in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and um, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, it's gonna come to me. The brain fart. It's gonna come to me.
Okay.
It's gonna come to
Okay.
me.
But you wanted to go to Florida.
Yeah, I want to go to Florida for college, but seeing that everything was going so fast, like basic training and individual advanced training and all of that, I was not going to be able to travel that much
Mm-hmm.
with going to Florida. So I chose a college that was here in Memphis to go to because I was stationed within the state.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
Okay. And so like what was the game plan then like as you're going through college? Cause I mean now you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. So like did the college experience expose you and pique your interest in the other categories? Like what was that?
it did. Well, not in the other categories, but it did with trying to see if I wanted to be enlisted as an enlisted non-commissioned officer or an officer itself, a warrant officer. So it's a little different, and you have to be in the military to understand. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say you got to break those down for me, the ranks and stuff like that.
It doesn't be too much. So it's just really it exposed me to really balancing what I want to do because everybody, if you're going to go to college, I would say going to college is one thing, but having a college experience is another thing. So I
Mhm.
wanted to have a college experience. So therefore, I had to balance and be a little bit more responsible than my colleagues because I was working and making a little bit different money than what was, given to certain people at that time, and then still trying to, be a college girl person.
Right. Okay. Tell us a little bit about Kamari, because I don't know when he popped up during this time. I don't know if he popped up in the middle, sophomore, junior. I don't know when he popped. So tell me about.
Bethune Cookman, you were right. Yes, Bethune Cookman University is the school. Okay, so
Mhm.
Kimari, is he will be 10 July 31st.
Woo.
I had him in 2011. And it's been that's another responsibility, but I had the support. Of course, I got so many siblings, and the family is huge. I was able to be a mom, um, and still have a great experience as far as being not a child, but being, enjoying college at the same time. So, and do the things that I wanted to do in college. But Himari is good.
Mhm.
Yeah, you may hear him doing Fortnite. Let's go. Yeah, in the back.
So tell me why you didn't quit, because like there are plenty of people. I'm sure you know some. I know some from my undergrad that when they got pregnant, they was like, well, this is where I get off as far as school. So what made you keep going?
Man, I didn't come from a background that was like prepared. or, you know,
Break that
like
down.
there you go. So a prepared background. So
Hmm.
I am from the projects.
Okay.
I leaving the projects, we were like probably one of the three houses that was still standing. So of course my mom had to figure out where she had to go at this time. I was about 8 or 9 when we left. And
Hmm.
um life was at that time, before that time, life was just, I had nothing to worry about, but I could see that my mom was worrying because, she didn't have everything, the education and the resources and things like that. It was the survival mindset that she had. And
Hmm.
so I don't remember, no, I do not remember lights being cut off. I don't remember being put out. I don't, none of that stuff happened in my lifetime. But I do know that um, going to the schools that I was going to, I didn't have what they had. And I always had mentors that took me in or assisted my mom with how I got by with things like that. So me not quitting once I got to college, I just feel like I made it that far because
Hmm.
who would have known that I would have been at college, you know?
Mm.
And who would have known that I would have been, as successful that I was with doing the things that I was doing in college and the exposure that I was getting in college and things like that. So um, that's why I didn't quit because becoming a mother at 21
Hmm.
is is very like, you know, whoa, in college, I have to
Yeah.
stop. I have to go do something else. I didn't have to do that because at that time that wasn't in my DNA, and I just it's just different. I don't know. I do know, but I don't know. I was
Hmm.
very motivated, so I don't think that it would have been did the people that's attached to me any justice if I would have gave up.
So you had a bigger why to stay than a bigger why to quit.
Right. Yep.
I feel you on that. So would that be like your advice to people who, well, I say people because it's both. Um, to people who might go through that, like if they get pregnant freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year.
I will say that. I will also say use your resources because it is like us. I would say in our community to say that I don't want to be a pity party. I don't want to ask anybody for help. I got this, type of deal. When
Mhm.
that doesn't always have to be the case. Um, I know that that is not the case. People are just afraid to ask for help. You know,
Mhm.
I would say that as well.
Cool. So you graduate from Lemoyne Owen College, HBCU, of course. So what was your mindset like leaving college? Because were you thinking, I'm gonna just stick to, well, clearly you didn't, but you said, I know you didn't say like, okay, I'm gonna just stick to the military and milk out all my benefits. But no, you said like I'm gonna do some more stuff. So how did other things like Crown Incorporate come into to being, or
So
not Crown no more?
yeah, so Crown Incorporated started as a mentorship program. Of course, I've said early on that I've had many people to take me in and became
Mm-hmm.
mentors to me, and I am in contact with them to this day. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why not give young girls that have been in there's an environment that I came from that same opportunity. Let's
Yeah.
see what I can do. So it started from one or two girls that I may have counseled while I was working for a nonprofit, and it went from one or two girls to like 10 girls, and it's like, oh my god, I can't do it by myself. And so then my friends, my resources, my friends like, hey, I want to help you, I want to do this, so I will um,
Mm-hmm.
assign girls to my friends. Of course they have to go through background checks and things like that, and then I will have an event where the girls can be in the same room as other women that have came from the environments that they are, currently in, to just give them hope. And that's what it came into. And of course, the change of Crown Incorporated going into a charm school is because
Mm-hmm.
my confidence is on a different level now. And so I love fashion. I love dressing up. I love teaching. I love
Mm-hmm.
everything about being a woman, and but a risky woman, so a woman that's not afraid, um, a respectable woman that's not afraid to do things in the world or to just be different. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show other young ladies that they can do that. It's not hard. It's to be yourself. It's not a bad thing to be yourself. It's not
Mm-hmm.
frowned upon to be confident. What's the difference in confidence and arrogance, and where things like that, and problem solving, and all of that good stuff, along with etiquette and boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
and with your head up and things like that, cute stuff. Like, so I made it a legitimate charm school that offered for younger ladies between 13 and 17 that want to do it, and it's just invest in their future, because they can also get community service hours and all of that good stuff that will follow them to whatever they want to do once they get older. So it's a passion. It's a
Mm-hmm.
passion. So when I graduated from Lamar on, I did not want the military to be my full time career at that time, because
Mm.
kids involved.
Yep.
Um, and so that's when I applied to this particular nonprofit post graduation and
Mm-hmm.
prayed on it. It was other places, group homes and detentions and things like that, and nobody called. But 3 years later they called, but nobody called, and yeah, I got this one call that I didn't think was gonna call, and I started there, and it really opened my eyes to a lot of things, and that's really when birthing Crown was just what I had to do once I left a little that part.
So it was the experience at the nonprofit that saw the need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you said I ain't gonna let you. I saw you slide that in there. You said that you're more confident now. So does that mean like you weren't confident growing up? Like what was
Kids are mean. Kids are
they are?
mean. When you're in a certain area, because I was living in a project, but I was going to an optional school.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't stay across the street from the school that I went to, and things like that. And so when you get to to be honest, I wasn't coasting it because I love what I was doing. I love being around people. I love doing my work. I love it being nice and right and things like that. But when you're different and you're going to an environment where kids are just here because, hey, this is the school I'm going to, and things like that, it's different. And kids, I mean, I was teased for being short, for my body being structured a different way, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so I found myself trying to fit in, and I didn't get it until I got older. Like, you don't fit in, to certain places
Mm-hmm.
that you would rather fit in. It's okay. So that's what I mean by that.
So what did you do to overcome that? Because a lot of people don't overcome that. Some people still in their adulthood aren't confident. So what was your process?
I failed at fitting in. I failed. So that was the
Uh-huh.
process. So spiritually, I had to get picked up. Because
Mm.
I just didn't fit in. I just couldn't get jiggy with certain things that was going on. And once I got tired of trying or wondering, like, right, like what I do to them, what's going on? That's when I got it. Yeah.
Gotcha. What age were you when it like clicked? Was that like 25? Was it 26, 27?
Literally, in college, like 20, after I had my son, so like probably 22, 23
Mm-hmm.
when it was clicking for me. Hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So me and you used to work at the nonprofit together, and of course we saw a ton of things at that nonprofit, but a lot of things that we saw was like the mental health like aspect of it. Um, Let me ask you this: like, as you grown into the woman that you've become today, like, did you have to take a hard look at yourself in the mirror at one point and say, I got some things in my past or some growing up that maybe I need to deal with, or else it's gonna keep me from going to the places that I'm trying to go to.
Absolutely. Of course, we were with the young men, and the men, the young boys, forgive me, but sorry, not sorry. I would say that the the boys are easy, but the girls are hard. So,
Facts.
so, so in the sense of that, I was a young lady as well. Of course, I wouldn't justify the wrong that I did as a young teenage child that was handled a little different, or some things that has happened. I may have, again, handled a little different than these young girls. And so it's just, it's you evaluate yourself and then you put yourself in their shoes for you to just understand, like, okay, I get you. So meeting them where they are, was just the win for me to be able to help them and to relate to them and things like that. But I love the girls, so if I was to ever ask to assist with them, I'll be the first person to go and things like that.
Hmm.
So it was a lot.
Gotcha. So I'm a personal believer in that before you can grow professionally, you have to grow personally.
Mhm.
So like you can make hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, but if your personal life at home ain't right, your relationship with your kids ain't right, relationship with this is if you got all this going on, then that will take you away from that. Was there any point in your life that you like, okay, this within myself has to change or grow, or else it's gonna keep me from this or keep me from that?
Yes, self evaluations for me was something that I thought that somebody really strong has to take serious. So yeah, I definitely did that a lot. Personal development is something that one of me and my line sister we do, and it's like one thing for me that I had to change. I had to change the act of cutting people off. So
Mm.
yeah, so literally I will have a bad or disagree somebody you said that that I do not agree with, or something you have done to somebody else that I will hold you accountable for, and literally my attitude, you see it in my face, like, and it was bad. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was bad, and I just didn't care, like, so, but now it's so
Mhm.
different because I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me, especially this day
Mm.
and things like that, because I know better now. So it's like my attitude, I had to adjust myself, and it shows.
That's tough though, because we live in a cutoff culture.
We do, we do. But I mean, hey, if if I want to make it to glory, I gotta,
If
gotta
I
give.
want to make it to glory, I feel you on that. Especially like I'll say in our millennial generation, that's real strong. Yeah, for sure. So tell me when Mr. Smith came into the equation.
Mr. Smith actually came in the equation when I didn't know he was in the equation. He put himself in the equation
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, he was. Oh my goodness, this man here, and he's just such an amazing man. He loves like no other, and my mom, if you are very, very, very patient and
Mm-hmm.
kind and all that good stuff, if you're dealing with me, because I am
Mm.
not a Gemini, but I'm very fiery, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So he came into the equation while I was working at this nonprofit, and it took a while. It took a long time for me to, just say, hey, okay, but once I said okay, we have been inseparable since.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the show. But I have a question for you. If you're listening to this podcast and you're hearing the gems being dropped, you're hearing the stories, and you're being inspired, and you say, you know what? I'm ready to create my version of the good life. If that's the case, then I highly recommend that we start working together. And so I want to invite you, for being a listener of the podcast, to a free strategy call with yours truly. And in that strategy call, what we're going to do is to help you really identify what it is that you're trying to do in your personal and your professional life. Help you identify the problems that you have to overcome to make that happen. And then we're going to put together a strategy so that you can go out and create that version of the good life. All right. So if you're really interested, if you're serious and you're interested in creating that version of good life and taking those steps, what I want you to do is to visit www.kameronlovelace.com/strategy and sign up for your personal Zoom call today. All right. Enjoy the rest of the episode. So
Yes.
what was that process? What was that process like? Because I imagine,
Mhm.
because you were 24, 25 at this time.
When I
How
met
old were
him.
you? Yeah, because this was around the nonprofit time, right?
Yeah. No, well, yes, but I was leaving where we were to a
Right.
transitioning. So yes, I was 26,
26.
25, turning 26.
So at this point, you're growing in your career. You got a five, 5 or 6 year old. So what was that a process too? Because I know that single moms and that's like,
So yes, I will say that there was a process because when you are conjoining, families from different aspects of your life, of course, at this time, I'm transitioning my mindset and things like that. It's a transition, and so it was never a problem, but it was it was something to take a little serious on my end. And of course, this is like the first the first time Kimari was seeing somebody else. So like that.
so, so you kept everybody else hidden.
Absolutely.
So what made you reveal him? What did he do?
Because he asked. He
When did he
asked.
ask? Like this is like month one, month three, month six.
He asked month 6. We went out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me if I would be his lady officially. And he said before that, I know that I haven't officially met King. When you're ready, and after that you can decide there. And so
Did you clutch your pearls when he asked? Like what was like?
yes, I did. I was happy. I text all of my best friends, turned and
Mhm.
text all my best friends who was on the beach, and you know, they was like, "Y'all have a good time. This is it here." So the group chat, yeah.
He was popping. Man, okay. So what have you learned like in the process? Because I'm young in marriage too, so I've learned that like different aspects of our interactions like kind of reflects in my business. So like for example, my wife is she's very detail oriented sometimes, and she be correcting like my caption. I don't know if you've been noticed on social media, but sometimes I like miss words, and she like, yo, you need to fix that. Like that's not cool. So like, has there been things in your marriage that you've noticed, like in your personal or in how you do business?
He So before I had to, do a little change in my attitude, I think that I probably would have ran him away because he's a very great supervisor, if that makes sense. Like manager. Like so with Crown. I would go and ask him questions, and he wouldn't give me the answer then. But after I do it, have an event or something, he will like have a list. I'm so like a whole piece of paper with something or some things that I need to work on, or I need to
Mm.
so more so that is something that he would do. But he's always there every step of the way, helping me prepare and everything. So and I appreciate that because I can take the criticism, I can take the feedback and things like
Yeah,
that. It's a
man,
great
that's a great partner to have, somebody that will help you like be better. So help me understand, like man to woman.
thing.
Help me understand why you still in the military.
Why I am still in the military
Because
because
you out here, you're in a thriving marriage. You got a good job. You're building a great nonprofit, full time mom. It's just that whole involuntary piece. It's the involuntary clause for me.
well, I have 7 more years left. Um, my son will be just turning 18.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, he has a bonus dad, but he will be able, if I finish, retire, he will be able to choose any college that he wants to go to. Any,
Wait. What you talking about?
so that's why I'm still in the military because my son will benefit with no cost.
They can go to anywhere for free.
He can go anywhere. He won't have to pay. Of course, my benefits will pay for it.
Uh, what other benefits are there? Like, hold on, break it down for the people who.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it. Of course, you
How are
get
you doing? That's what we need to know.
so you're taking the opportunities that come. Like I'm doing it because I have a supportive husband that's supporting me. Of course, he would not just be supportive if I have to pick up and go tomorrow, but I'm that woman that know that I'm not having to pick up tomorrow. Like the tours for me have been asked, like, hey, do you want to do this? And my answer is no. Like, do you want to go to Iraq and do your job doing this? No. Okay. It won't be held against you. That's it. So, taking advantage of the schools that may come or the free classes that you get paid for everything you do, um, bonuses and things like that. You want to switch your job, you want to do this. Hey, do you want to host this class? Hey, do you want to do this? Like, I'm in let's
Okay. You going fast. You going fast. You going fast. Okay. First,
just take
let's.
advantage of the opportunities that come to you. So, if you're
What
joining the
opportunities? Yeah. What opportunities did you take advantage of?
school,
Right.
um, the stuff like not CPS, but yeah, CPS, the therapy, the
They pay for therapy.
yeah, therapy and how to do certain classes, um, all of that, safety classes, driving classes, all of that, like all
Mm-hmm.
types of life skills for an adult to come outside of uniform and just thrive.
That's interesting. So why are there so many veterans that when they get out, like they struggle? Like for a period of time, I worked for homeless veterans.
Mhm.
So like what's going on here? Like, cause you're telling me like there's so many things to prepare you for civilian life.
Mhm.
So what's happening there?
Um, just like a famous person that may get on drugs or may be disabled or may,
True.
certain stuff like that. I don't have the answers of why it's a lot of homeless veterans or, um, it's a lot of stuff. So, but things change. So, for instance, with every president, they may change some things, or with every chief officer, well, that's the president, but higher ranking militant person may change some things of what's offered to a veteran that was discharged honorably or
Mm-hmm.
dishonorably. Um, it's all in what they can get. So if a veteran, you're still a veteran, even though you discharged dishonorably. So like benefits are cut off, but you're still a
Right.
veteran, but certain benefits are cut off. So I don't know everybody's story, but if you ask questions, like the answer is somewhere floating around you.
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, what did you do to put yourself in a position where you could say no? Because originally at the beginning you said like some stuff is involuntary, but now you're to the point to where, hey, Keva, you want to go to Iraq? No. What do I look
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, and that's just what it is. So I will say if you're of course it's true. Know the right people
Mm,
that will get you some places, or if you do your job really good,
mm-hmm.
you're gonna have options to, hey, do you want to do this or not? Or let's go and ask her. We can't make her or him. I'm not the only person that has been able to just say no. There have been some things like when I was asked the last time to go um out of overseas with my best friend, one of my best friends, and I said no. They will offer you this amount of money. I still don't want to go. Like it's some people it's involuntary or it's voluntary, depending on your unit. Um,
Mm.
Standing that your unit is, then it may be involuntary. Your unit is just chosen to go.
Do you have an option to pick your unit or no?
Yeah, you can pick your unit, but then you're
Okay.
being restricted. So I'm in this unit for 3 years or 4 years, or
Got it. Got it. Okay. So because I always thought that people just sign like different lengths of contracts. So you're telling me that you sign? Is this your second, third? What contract is this for you?
This is my third contract.
Okay, so walk me through the first contract for the people that are like graduating high school.
Okay, so my first contract was four. I want to say 4 years. Then I think I didn't go over this contract that I'm in now is 3 years. So yeah, I've been in 13 years. This is my 13th year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man, that's
it doesn't seem that long, but it's long because I'm getting older.
yeah, that's hurt. I mean, well, you ain't, can't nobody tell you getting older, so that's that. But yeah, so the first contract was 4 years, and that was well, you're
2008.
still National Guard,
2008. Mm-hmm.
2008 full time. And so when you said at the end of this contract, what made you say, okay, I'm gonna do this again?
Again, because I'm not ready to get out.
That's interesting because I know some people that can't wait to get out.
Right, but there's nothing that has transpired that's just like a it's I don't know. I do know, but I'm just not ready to get out. I am going to retire,
Mm-hmm.
and I will be 36, 37.
Mm. Well, it ain't too much longer. Yeah, I'm about to say it ain't too much longer.
I'm like, that's it. That's in a minute.
Mm. I get it. I get it, but I don't get it because I'm like, nah, I'm good on that.
And my husband's the same way. He's like, nah, I'm good. Don't worry about it.
All right, I feel you.
It's a thing.
Um, hmm?
It's just a thing. I mean, I just love it. I love it.
Okay, I get. I'm really sitting here trying to wrap my mind.
Yeah.
But for some people that might be, and they need to hear this because this is why I do this podcast, is to hear other people's perspective. And for those people who are looking to, should I do full time? Should I do National Guard? Because I don't know why I thought the National Guard was like outside of like the big four, the Army, Navy, Air Force. SEALs, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So National Guard is part of the Army and it's part of the Air Force. It's like a reserve component because you're not full time, if that makes sense. So active is full time. You're getting a check the
Mm-hmm.
first because you're out, National Guard and the reserves, they work one weekend out of the month,
Mm-hmm.
summertime, depending on what's going on. And they have the options to, take courses, get certified here and there on certain things. That's basically it. It's that's just the difference in active and guard and reserve.
Gotcha. So so outside of school for free, well, not necessarily free school, but a major benefit for school for your son, what is one of the major benefits why people would want to stay long term?
In the military,
Mm-hmm.
um, once you retire, wherever you stopped at, rank wise, you would get a check, a promising check, till you pass on.
What rank are you at right now?
I am sergeant
Sorry. Okay, so where is that on the totem pole? Because
in the middle.
in the middle. So the top is
Chief, the president. Yep.
oh well. So Secretary of Defense, basically.
Yep.
Okay. And so you're halfway up. Okay. Good, good. You ain't got to worry about 401k. I guess.
But that'll be a great also check addition, of course. But of course, I mean, I love what I do, and I'm not stopping here as far as ranking. But yeah,
Yeah, of course. Because and this is another side of it that really needs to be said because I'm thinking, well, I won't say just me, but like originally in high school, I'm thinking I don't want to go to war. I don't want to be fighting nobody. I don't want to go across and lose my freedom. I want to be able to go when I want to go. But you're telling me like, no, it's not that bad.
it's I wouldn't say it's not that bad, but I will say that it's when someone wants to join the military, they need to unlearn. And once you will only know when you're there. You will
Right.
only know when you're there. So it's like some people have some people have a bad experience because they have made it a bad experience. Some
Mm-hmm.
people was able to just flourish in doing what they want to do because that's what they set out to do and they worked hard to get there. Of course it's not easy, but it's not hard. It's not impossible to do the things that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my take. Short and sweet.
Love it. I'm here for it. So what's next for you coming down the pipeline with the charm school, with your career, with military, family? What's next for you?
So of course our family is prayerful to expand within the near future. But also with the charm school, open enrollment for anyone with children, young ladies between the ages of 13 and 17. Open enrollment will begin in 2 weeks for our summer initiates, I will say. Um, yeah, crownincorporated.com. You can get all of the information there.
Mm.
Um, and that's basically it.
Y'all still been doing stuff in the midst of the pandemic?
Yes, we have January. We was able because it's I only have 5 girls. This like
Mm-hmm.
now that's how many I wanted because going out into public we're not able to sit so many people and things like that. But things are lifting now, so open
Mm-hmm.
enrollment will be for more girls. Um, but it's been a lot of me. They all have iPhones, thank God. So we have been doing a lot of FaceTiming and just a lot of interactions that they need. There's some good teenagers. Yeah, I love them.
Good. How long you
Mhm.
been doing it for?
What the charm school started
Yeah.
at the end of last year.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you.
Crown Incorporated, I officially switched over at the end of last year.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And so, like, is there any girls that have like turned like 16, like eight, anything big achieve, like anything that you've like, oh, I'm so happy to be a part of this moment for you.
So actually, one of the girls has kind of inspired her friends to want to join, and they're like waiting at the door. So for a young lady to be so proud of what she's a part of and to
Hmm.
influence, her peers in her community, like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and they liking what she's doing. Of course, they may like the uniforms and the field trips and things like that. So that's something that I'm excited to see. So just imagine how my brain is just ticking for us to just expand, and hopefully we'll be
Hmm.
in the building someday to just house these young girls for them to come back once they do go to college or wherever they're doing, because college is not for everyone, and I'm not afraid to say it. And I'd rather you not go and have to pay so much, but rather than you going and you find out then that this is not what I want. So yeah.
That's
I,
big. That's big.
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, take us home with some words of encouragement for somebody who is a little bit like you. So the young girl is it north or south Memphis? What which part of Memphis you claim?
South Memphis.
South Memphis. I knew it was one of them. I wasn't sure. But talk to the little girls in South Memphis who, are not having a whole lot of confidence, who might be pregnant, age 14, 15, 16, and might are a little bit like you and maybe want to be just like you.
I will definitely say the survival mindset. I love saying this, but it means so much to me. The survival mindset is the lowest form of living. Never live your day. Never live your life day by day. It's okay to plan for the future. It's okay to dream beyond tomorrow. Um, because I saw things the things that I saw walking out of my front door was not the things that I wanted to see forever.
Mm-hmm.
I looked forward to the next day, but that wasn't all I was looking forward to. And I think that God favored that because I didn't give up. I wasn't scared. Now I wasn't dumb, but I wasn't scared. To do a lot of things that have gotten me where I am. So I would definitely say that.
Man, don't keep a survivor's mindset. Live for the future, plan for the future. Can make it out. And go join Charm School. You definitely get in contact. Drop your contact information so people can reach out to you. Well, do you mind if people reach out
No
to you?
problem. You can send an email at crowninc at outlook.com. You can visit the website www.crownincorporated.com. I am on Instagram and Facebook as crown underscore the charm school. Um, yeah, that's me.
You don't want to drop your personal. I see you building up your brand. I see you building over there.
If you want to personally know who I am and what I do, it's real life. It's underscore offset 901. And I am Keva Smith, Mrs. You will see that creative. Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you all dropping all those gems, dropping your knowledge. For those of y'all watching on Facebook, those of y'all watching on YouTube, go ahead and smash that like button, like all the kids say. Pew, 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 pew. Comment and share this with somebody who really needs it. It was just a really good one. I mean, you can turn the military. You ain't got to be a slave, quote unquote, slave to the military, but you can really use that and leverage that into more opportunities and continues to do a whole lot of growth. This was a great one. For those of y'all listening on iTunes, leave us a review, 5 stars only. We don't do ones, we don't do 2, 3, 5 stars only, because we want to keep spreading the message of good life. Until then, you know we bring in these gems every single Thursday to help you create your version of the good life. Until then, we'll see you next week.